The Etaker M2000 power station is a semi-solid state lithium-ion battery with voltage at 32.4 volts and 62 amp hours. The battery capacity is the most important part, and pay close attention because this is going to be important later on in this video. The battery capacity for a standalone unit is 2008.8 watt hours, which is already about 25% more than most units of a similar size, price, and quality. It has a cycle life of over 1,000 cycles. There is BMS protection and is 100 to 240 volts of output voltage. It is a pure sine wave output waveform, and it has a rated power of 2,000 watts. This is more than enough to power your emergency appliances, such as a refrigerator to keep your food from spoiling, as well as a television or a computer and a modem for communication and entertainment or news during a short or long-term power outage. The DC output is DC 12 volt 6 amps max, and the car charging port is DC 12 volt and 12 amps. The USB A1 and A2 are 5 volt 2.4 amps. The USB A3 and A4 are 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, which are 60 watts max, 20 volts, 3 amps. The USB C1 and C2 are 100 watts max, 20 volts, 5 amps. The Etaker display has several options to keep you up to date on how to manage your power during an outage. There is a charging indicator, battery icon, battery percentage indicator, remaining time indicator, discharge power indicator, remaining time indicator, a charging power indicator, Bluetooth indicator, Wi-Fi indicator, a low temperature and high temperature indicator, as well as a preheat indicator. There is also a fan icon, USB indicator, DC and AC indicator, as well as an LED indicator. And let's not forget that there's also an emergency light on the back of the unit that also has an SOS option just in case. So, do you all remember when I mentioned earlier in this video that the Etaker standalone has a battery capacity of 2008.8 watt hours? Well, Etaker has invented this new simple to attach ER2P, which allows you to attach two M2000 power stations together. This allows you to have double the amount, which is over 4,000 watt hours of backup power in case of emergencies. All you have to do is plug one end of the connection cable into your M2000 power station and the other end into the ER2P. Bam, you have double the battery capacity. If you have seen my original video on the Etaker M2000, you will know that this is the only power station on the market that can claim that they are EMP resistant, if not EMP proof. If you do not know what an EMP is, it stands for an electromagnetic pulse. This is a man-made nuclear weapon that is harmless to human beings, but it does have the ability to take out all electronics and communications within range. If it's detonated operated at a high enough altitude, it could potentially take down the entire power grid, and it would make other off-grid power supplies on the market useless as well, because they simply do not have the embedded shielding technology required in order to protect the internal components. Fortunately, I do not have an EMP nuclear weapon in my attic, so I do not have the opportunity to test this theory, but it certainly is something to take into consideration when you're making your choice on your power station. Etaker is also the only portable power station that intentionally asked me to throw a rock at the unit just to prove to the viewers how sturdy it is and how it can withstand those types of issues. That experiment proved successful and can also be seen in my first Etaker product review video. It has now been 14 hours since plugging in the refrigerator. And this is only with about 100 watts of input that I've got on solar panels outside. Not a big deal, but I've got the solar not in the best place. It's in the shade. So not full capacity. And then the cord goes over here, goes to the refrigerator back there so you can't see it, and working just fine. The refrigerator and television are my main priorities when it comes to the power being out. The Etaker M2000 units combined with the ER2P have functioned as promised. They are both very lightweight at a little over 38 pounds each, and the ER2P connector weighs about the same as a simple surge protector. It's pretty much not much at all. Although I am charging my units using 500 watts of solar, please know that they can accept up to an astonishing 1,000 watts of solar input. Again, unheard of. So I will definitely be building another solar panel holder soon and adding an additional 500 watts so it will charge as fast as possible. With this kind of setup, you can easily charge your refrigerator, TV, laptop, and modems at all times, 24 hours a day. I am a huge proponent of having off-grid power for emergencies, even though I have on-grid solar. These units really do pay for themselves if you use them. They need to be used in order to offset the cost of your electric bill so that you can justify the cost of owning a simple unit. Within a year of constant use, powering your refrigerator and maybe your TV, you will make your money back in savings in 1 to 2 years. Any investor out there will tell you that any investment that pays for itself within 4 years is a fantastic investment, which makes this even better. This is the case for the Etaker M2000 and the ER2P as well. Buy one, use it, it pays for itself, then in a year or two you can keep using it and getting free power after that. It can more than pay for itself 5 times over within a few years as long as you use it on a regular basis. Here is my updated solar system. I just built a little holder out of old 2x4s. Just stuck them together around the back here with some screws. And then I got all the cabling together. And it's 500 watts. And this unit takes up to 1,000 watts. But if you go in here, it's always a good idea to keep the unit inside, not only for theft, not having them get stolen, but to keep them nice and cool. And as you can see, the wire is going in, and each unit is a little more than 2,000 watts, but the connector now puts 2 batteries, so now you have over 4,000 watt hours of storage capacity. Now, right now, I'm trying to save a little bit of electricity on the refrigerator, so I've got it unplugged for a couple hours. But as you can see, with even 500 watts, only 136 watts is coming in. So I definitely need to upgrade my old dated panels. All right, everybody. So this is the non-scripted portion of my product review. So Up until now, I have been using a different unit with an extended external battery, as well as 500 watts of solar. And it holds about 3,000 watt hours of power, including the extended battery. Now, with the Etaker, it takes it from what I was using, 3,000 watt hours, to over 4,000 watt hours. So it is a 33% increase in battery capacity. And with my solar, I'm working on getting it a little bit better so that it gets the maximum amount of solar in a day, because I did have them in not the best place where it was getting a lot of shade. But now with that taking over, over the last few days, I've been able to power my refrigerator and my TV completely off grid. And if I add some more solar, a little bit more solar, maybe 200 or 300 watts, I can potentially power my refrigerator, microwave, coffee maker, washing machine. I have a portable small washing machine, my TV, modem, and my barely used DVD player, 24/7, nonstop, in any sort of power outage. Now, again, I told you guys that I do have solar, grid-tied solar to my house. It came with the house. I didn't buy it. I didn't pay for it, but it's there, so I'm going to use it, doggone it. But with this new Etaker, this is going to be, because of the battery capacity, when you combine the two together, it is my new go-to. So in all of my future videos, if I happen to be taking you out into the backyard and you see it, it's going to be right next to the back door, because that's where it's going to be connected to my solar, and it's going to be used at all times, or at least be ready for power outages at all times. And like I said, because of the battery capacity and being able to extend the battery into 2 specific units, it's 33% more than anything else that I've got on hand. So if you're going to buy it, use it, and you always want to buy the best one. And the thing about this one especially is the EMP, and you can also, they didn't mention CME, but a CME is basically the same thing as an EMP, except it's not man-made, it's nature-made. A CME is a coronal mass ejection, which is solar that comes down from the sun. Excuse me, not solar, but rays, gamma rays and stuff like that come down from the sun, and it can also potentially bring down our grid. And if this is EMP proof, it is, I can only logically say that it might be CME proof as well. I can't confirm that because I don't have an EMP nuclear weapon to detonate on my channel. Sorry, for experimental purposes. But for a lot of us preppers out there, that is something that's really important, especially with the way that our internal affairs are going at the moment. It's something that we definitely want to keep in mind. And I have not seen any other battery supplies or power supplies that state that they have that capability. So that's something that you definitely want to keep in mind when you're making your choice. All right, folks, I hope that this video has been helpful. As always, links are going to be down in the description. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.